1 week after handing gun rights advocates a major win, the Supreme Court gave them a major loss this week. At issue is whether Americans who are under restraining orders for domestic violence can legally own firearms. The Supreme Court ruled that a Texas man who pleaded guilty to a firearms charge while under a restraining order did not have his Second Amendment rights violated. The ruling is important because it establishes a limiting principle in a major decision the court made 2 years ago, which struck down a New York law restricting the concealed carry of firearms. In that case, the court found that firearm regulations have to be consistent with America's historical tradition of firearm regulation dating all the way back to the days of the English common law. Last year, a lower court ruled that the restraining order restriction was an unconstitutional violation of Second Amendment rights. The Supreme Court saw it differently, as Justice John Roberts wrote in the majority opinion. Restricting guns from people who threaten to harm others, he wrote, has been a characteristic of American firearm regulation from the beginning. Therefore, the current law is not a constitutional violation. Another interesting point about Friday's decision. The lone dissenter was conservative Justice Clarence Thomas, who wrote the opinion in the New York case 2 years ago. Now, Thomas wrote Friday that he had made very clear in his ruling in the 2022 case that any regulation which could not be justified by the Second Amendment was unconstitutional. Thomas wrote today that nothing justified the domestic violence restraining order statute, therefore, it was prima facie unconstitutional. An interesting split in what is a staunchly conservative court.